Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to hop on here for a minute and talk about this Flowtron FX Zero high performance check valve. You guys are asking a lot of questions, and I'm just trying to knock some of these out. So the first thing is yes, you can see that it is mounted vertically. Most of you guys out in the field are already running your bypass loops, whether it be manual or remote style. So since it was already on most people's trucks, and that's obviously how I've been running it for the last couple years, it was designed and developed off of this orientation. We are using inside here, it is gravity guided. So you have your you have your 3/8 line coming in. So that's gonna help increase the flow. You have your Viton seal at the bottom, your ball, and then this top cap is notched out. So there's no cage anymore internally here. We eliminated the cage. The top cap is notched out. Um, and what that does is it eliminates some of the space inside the body. It also keeps that ball from ever hitting the ceiling and then losing suction. So it can never not suck soap. All right. The other reason that we went with the this top cap and that design was once the check valve filled up with fluid or your soap and you were switching over to rinse it out, it was taking like 45 seconds total to clear the body and the line. So that was a little obsessive. So I was thinking, how can we, cut that time down? And it was pretty simple. It was just eliminate some of the space in the check valve body. So we used a different top cap. It eliminated some of the space. Now when you're switching back and forth from soap and water, it's much quicker and back to the normal. So one thing I wanted to mention was the Viton seal in the bottom of this check valve. It is 2-3 times bigger or thicker than your standard O-ring that comes in these high flow check valves. Those little thin O-rings, they're just not going to last. When you're putting 2,000-3,000 psi of pressure continuously over and over on those little O-rings, they are going to flatten out. They're going to fail. So that was one of our biggest things we need to figure out, how to get a bigger O-ring or a bigger seal in the check valve to stop failing so often. So much bigger seal on the bottom of this check valve. Another fail point was going to be the spring. Most of the springs are eventually going to start corroding. As they corrode, they get weaker, so the ball is able to, the spring collapses more and more and farther every time you use, you're using the injector. And over time, the ball collapses so far that when the valve shuts, the ball's getting more and more speed to shut that valve, and eventually that's when that ball gets lodged down in the seat and it's no longer pulling soap, and you have to break out a little nail or something to pop that ball loose. That's not going to happen with this. It can't happen. So that was one of the other reasons we changed the design with that big Viton seal. So again, gravity is what's keeping this aligned every single time. The ball weighs a very specific amount, and that's what's allowing that check valve to open so smooth. So you have the 3/8 in big thick rubber Viton seal. You have a weighted ball, precisely weighted ball sits on top of that. And then there's a desired range of space that ball is able to move in. And then once it hits that top cap, it can't lose suction because of the grooves that are in it. So it's going to always continuously flow, smooth, unrestricted every single time. That's what we wanted. All right. If there's anything else you guys are curious about, let me know. I don't want to give away any of the actual specs and thicknesses, and you know, I don't want to give away any of the specifics. Okay, this took 2 years of playing around with and developing and buying parts and putting things together and testing them and being out in the field. And you get 5 minutes into a wash and I'd have something break and fail, and it was back home and back to the drawing board. So 2 years of development it took to get to this point. We finally have it nailed. I absolutely love this thing. Like I said, we have 2 of them on the truck. And actually, which she doesn't know, is this is my line. Hers, we actually have on the top cap. I made her special. So what we're doing is we're just kind of gonna keep an eye on that and see if we get any more performance out of it. But yeah, guys, like I said, if you have any other questions, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them.